And we're going to talk about how to make trading the perfect business. And we're going to delve into not so much specific trading systems. Many of you are probably already using that type of trading approach. We're going to talk to you about really how to optimize it, so to speak, and also go into how to run your trading like a hedge fund. So this will include a lot of the back-end types of things that you may not think about when starting a trading business. So we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions as well. Again, Reed already introduced me, but I'd also like to invite folks to our website at traderscoach.com. We have a lot of free stuff there and a lot of educational material too. We have a variety of software and we have a variety of risk control software that you might find useful, especially if you already have a trading approach. But we also have subscriptions. We have stock subscriptions. We do stock picks. We do market forecasts and so forth. So take a look and check us out. And also, too, we have a number of books. I've written 3 books. I got a 4th one on the way on Elliott Wave. But today we're going to talk about really the topic in the Survival Guide for Traders, which is the book on the far right. Now, I'm going to put a link up here for you to, well, I already did it. Jean already did it. She put a link up there for you to order these books. And if you have to run out early on today's presentation, we're going to cover most of the material, a lot of the material in the Survival Guide for Traders. Not most, just we're going to touch the surface of it, really. But there's a lot of interesting information on how to gauge the current market and the volatility you see out there and how to run your trading like a professional hedge fund. We even include a customized business plan that is in that book for traders. So things like that you'll find very unique and specific for the trading environment. And that link will take you to an Amazon shopping cart where you'll actually see all our books, but the one we're going to focus again on today is Survival Guide for Traders. It's also fun to read all the reviews and stuff. All right, let me ask you guys a question. Why does technical analysis enable you to create a consistent revenue stream? What is it about technical analysis versus other forms of analysis in the market like fundamentals and things like that? What are we trying to do with technical analysis? I want to spend a few minutes on this. Anybody out there? You don't have to, you need to set a target, okay? Anybody else? All right, well, technical analysis, the thing about technical analysis is that you're going to create a set of rules that you're going to use over and over again. Some of these rules are more complex than others, but the idea is whatever set of rules you choose will be ones that you created and that you can trade and basically you have tested and that give you an edge in the market. And then you can take these set of rules and apply them to most all time frames and most all markets. Technical analysis, if you do it right, is basically setting up a trading approach where you're taking advantage of the momentum in the market. If you compare this to something like trading off analyst upgrades or downgrades that are based on fundamental analysis, you're really not taking advantage of the current momentum. You're taking advantage of what might happen in the future based on those fundamental forecasts. And things like multiples and all that kind of stuff are very subjective as well. So sometimes you'll see an upgrade on a particular stock that is clearly, from a technical analysis standpoint, in a downtrend still. So the momentum's still going down. But they feel it's good price at that price, good value at that price, and a year from now you'll be happy. Well, that kind of is not what we do. What we are really focusing on is taking advantage of the current direction or trend in the market, whether it's up or down. And this gives really technical analysis, I feel, an edge, a great edge over fundamental analysis, or even just buying what's out there on the analyst upgrade and downgrade sheets. So while those might be an area that steer you to certain markets, you still need to use technical analysis to answer the timing question of when to get in. The other thing about technical analysis is once you have it set up so it's delivering you an edge, and that edge may be exploiting certain price patterns in the market. The price patterns, because of the fractal geometry, okay, or symmetry that's in all markets, those particular price patterns you're going to see on a variety of different time frames. So the idea is that no matter if you're a really short-term intraday trader or a longer-term swing trader, you'll see the same types of patterns, so your analysis will work based on those pattern analysis. Then, of course, there are other indicators and so forth that gauge momentum that you can also intertwine in with your trading approach. So to answer this question, why does technical analysis enable you to create a consistent revenue stream, is because you're using the same set of rules when you approach the market each and every time based off price patterns that are available on all markets or present on all markets in all time frames. Okay, that's your edge, okay? But you know, there's more to it than just that, all right? There's the mental aspect of trading, the risk control aspect of trading, and also setting up your business as a business. A lot of folks jump into trading and don't really, they focus on the trading approach, but they don't really realize all the expenses involved in trading. And kind of what you need to do is you need to think, those that are successful, think of their trading as a separate business and not really a hobby. And the idea is you first of all have to understand trading itself. Just to get a system with an edge is going to take a lot of work. It takes time. So you have to be patient. This is not a business for the get-rich-quick folks. If they do go into the market with that attitude, the folks that are what I call the professional traders will fleece them, okay? And unfortunately, it's a zero-sum game in momentum trading, okay? It's not like investing. But also, too, for the professional traders, you need those novices entering the markets because that's where your money comes from. And the other thing you got to realize, too, is, there's a lot of statistics. Only, 5 or 10% of the people are successful trading, and out of those, only a few percentage are really super successful. And you know what? People go, oh, my gosh, that's so hard. Well, you know what? What's the percentage of the people that get to be in the top levels of companies? The same percentages. These percentages are not any different than any other endeavor where you're really wanting to get to the top. The only difference is in trading, you're not going to get paid unless you get to the top, right? So you need to understand that, and you need to take time and hone your system, test it, all right? You need to have adequate financing. This requires not only risk capital, but operating capital. If this is going to take time to learn, then you need to be able to support yourself during those periods where your approach or new business is not making you any money. And again, we've covered testing. Plan, and plan some more, and test some more. Any new concepts or ideas you add to a trading approach should be tested before being used with real money. You also, and this is more of a mental aspect, you need to start your business for the right reasons. Again, if you think of somebody coming into the markets with a get-rich-quick attitude, that's going to be a different mindset than somebody that loves to trade, loves this whole environment, knows he or she needs to learn more, and takes their time, tests their system, enjoys the process. It's a different mindset. And I think it's obvious which one is going to be successful and which isn't, okay? You also have to be resilient and persevere. You have to be a problem solver. And that's not only for trading, but any business, all right? There's always 100 reasons to quit at anything we do at any given time, I always say, all right? The difference between success and failure is not always brains, okay? It's the ability or the will to succeed. So you have to have that. You have to create a proven model that can be profitable, a cookie cutter, a set of rules like I discussed before that are developed after testing in a different variety of markets. And you have to realize in trading you will have losses, okay? Then the next step you have to think about is how do I control these losses? And this is where risk control comes in. All right, because it's a jungle out there. Failures, you got to approach trading also when you get to this level. If you want to do well at this business, you've got to say to yourself, okay, failure is not an option. I will have setbacks, but I will continue to persist until I succeed. Because when you go into the markets with real money, you are up against the best in the business. You are entering the major leagues. You must be prepared. In other words, it's not like playing tennis, where if you're a novice, you'll be matched against another novice. Markets don't work like that. When you jump into any arena where there's money to be made, all right, you're going to have novices, sure. But in order to take that money, you're going to have to beat other players, and those other players are going to be probably better than you. So you're basically put in the water and asked to swim with the sharks, and you have to have a game plan or a set of rules in order to do that. I love this saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Have the best tools for the job. Again, software, the technology today, are you using technology 5 years old or current? A lot of times we'll go onto a computer. We have a technical expert here that sets people up in terms of their trading and all that kind of stuff. And they'll go onto the computer and get the software set up and find they have a computer that's 5 years old, some using like an old dual-core chip, and have like 2 gigabytes of RAM, and expect to have 40 charts open, all with 2-minute charts. And then you go and look at the 2-minute charts, and they have about 5 years of data, and they wonder why their system's slow. Hello? Okay? Do you have the best tools for the job? All right? Do you have a computer that is current? You should be having, everybody in this business, if they're not trading with an i7 chip, all right, you're going to have to replace that soon. You need at least 12 gigabytes of memory, and the more the better. It's cheap. Get it. Your system, your software will work faster and better. So have the best tools. Same thing with trading software and tools. You buy an $80 piece of software, well, you're going to get an $80 piece of software. Okay? If you buy a $10,000 or $5,000 piece of software, well, guess which one's going to be better? All right? So, again, don't bring a knife to a gunfight, because the pros will have the best tools. And in trading and life, it is survival of the fittest. Make sure you're prepared to win. I live in San Diego. I live on the edge of a mountain, and I have a beautiful view. And every night I hear the coyotes killing something. I see dead rabbits on the side of the mountain, because it reminds me, one of the things that reminds me is it is survival of the fittest on all levels. Okay? So again, you have to realize that and know when you're either out of your league or in your league. And if you're out of your league, then you need to stand down and learn. Okay? Because it really does pay to be a winner. As a trader, you are an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs typically, like you, are creative, spontaneous, driven, and passionate about their work. I'm sure each and every one of you out there trading for the right reasons loves trading to begin with. And yes, the money's nice, okay, but also you enjoy the whole process. Most traders, too, love technology, all right? They love their computers and working on it. It's the whole realm of working in this environment today that is just fantastic, because you can literally do this business anywhere you want because the technology is just super. But you have to understand how it all works, okay? All right, goal number 1. First thing as a trader, you have to focus on the revenue. It's all about the revenue. It's trading profits. Once you get to a certain point where, you've tested, you've taken your time, then, it's time where the rubber hits the road. It's all about making money at that point. If you don't have a system that consistently generates revenue, you will be out of business, plain and simple. Developing the system falls under research and development. This is goal number 1. And then also testing. So the first thing you have to do is find a set of trading rules or trading approach that you can use, that you can trade. And you need to have some software that has enough flexibility that allows you to use it as a tool and not a totally mechanical system. It's better when these trading approaches are used as tools. That's based on over 20 years of experience in the markets myself, okay? Because it allows you to trade a little bit of your belief system, yet at the same time, a set of rules or software should have some structure to it so you can look at a chart quickly, know if you should be long, short, or out of the market, or what the exception is. Another aspect of being a professional trader is knowing the exceptions to some of the rules, because there always are. But the idea is that goal number one is you need to begin that path of finding what works for you. And it's all about consistent. I should basically put that underline, consistent trading profits, but the word consistent is what's important, not just every once in a while. Let me ask you guys a question. What is, do you think in your mind, what is a successful win-to-loss trading system out there? What do you think is successful? Looking for entries, 50, 60, good. That's about, yeah, good. All right, so basically, I'm seeing some good answers here. All right, depending on where you are, anywhere from, I would say, this also gets married to the payoff ratio, because some people will have a 58% profitable system, which doesn't sound very good, but their payoff ratio may be 3 to 1. So for every winning trade, they win 3 times more than their losing trades because their risk control is so good. So that's a successful system, believe it or not. 60-40, 60% wins and 40 losses is probably a more normal type of trading approach that you should try to achieve with a 2 to 1 payoff ratio. You'll get very rich that way, trust me. And then some people that just start out in the business, you ask this same question to most of the novices, and you know what they'll say? 80-20, 90-10. They expect to win 8 times out of 10. And what usually happens is they stop thinking about risk control because they're going to win so much. And then they get their account handed to them, so to speak. Okay, so think about that, all right? You're going to have losses, so you got to protect those losses. In our example, where you have a 60-40 win rate and a payoff ratio of 2 to 1, well, if you keep your losing trades at 2%, for example, then you're going to do really well because out of every 10 trades, you're going to be down 8%, but you're going to be winning 6 trades. You may not win big on every one of those 6 trades, but one's going to come along that absolutely is huge. And that's how you make money, a lot of money, in trend trading. Okay, so let's move on here. Go to our next slide. Okay, and talk about expenses. Okay, expenses will eat your profits alive. All right, control your expenses. One of the biggest problems that I find with a lot of entrepreneurs is when they start a company, they're so excited, okay, and they already think they're successful before they're successful, so they go ahead and start spending more money than they should, okay, and then the business may take a little bit longer to get up and running, and then all of a sudden they're in trouble. So you need to control those expenses. All right, you need to do that. For those that have succeeded in creating a profitable system, if your expenses are even too high, then the net result could be a loss. All right, so keep that in line. Being a good business person and entrepreneur, okay, income is very important, but they also keep a keen eye on their expenses. I'm a firm believer if you write your own checks and sign them, okay, you're better off than having somebody else do that because you watch every dollar that leaves your company. You need a business plan, and this is where our book, The Survival Guide for Traders, shines here. Okay, we're going to help you with your business plan. In fact, not only is it in the book, but you're also going to get access to a membership area that's associated with the book where you can download a PDF file that you can print there at home that has this business plan on. Okay, so that's very handy. All right, what's important in a business plan? Well, there's a lot of things, but we're going to focus on some of the important ones here. First of all, you have to have a summary. Hey, what are you trying to do here? Okay, if you're going to be a trader, what markets are you going to trade? How much time are you going to devote for this? Are you going to have anybody helping you? Are you going to hire anybody? What technology are you going to use, etc. Okay? Strategy, okay, comes under your trading approach, your system. You know, what's your strategy? How often do you think you're going to trade? Who's your broker? Okay, that comes under operations, you know, and financials. You know, where are you going to do this? You're going to do it out of your house. You're going to have an office. So all these things need to be taken into account. Financials, okay? We're going to talk more about that as well. So in the business plan summary, I want to spend a little time on some of these things, all right? The business concept is trading, okay? And more importantly, trading success. Your current profile, where you are now as a trader. You need to be brutally honest with yourself on this aspect, all right? Get in a room, shut the door, all right, and be honest with yourself. Where are you? Where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? And this not only includes in your trading itself, but in your whole business. You know, how's your capital doing? What your expenses are like. This is a good time to really get in touch with the reality of what's going on in your realm of business. And for example, if you do this, you'll be surprised. You may find that, you know, I have this expense, this is really a lot, and I don't need it. Boom, get rid of it, okay? Get rid of it. So it will help you. Same thing with your trading, okay? I want to spend a little time on record keeping. You will also be keeping great records of your trading and all the statistics. You know, records can all be done by the broker. I know all that, okay? But you need to know what your payoff ratio is, your win ratio, the stats regarding your trading. If you need a software to do this, we have something called the Trader's Assistant that's great at this. It'll even tell you how much risk you should take on a percentage basis to calculate your trade size, which is also known in the business as your position size. Okay, it's all based on your closed trades. It has all the formulas built into it. That's what you need. You need to know where you are right now in terms of your trading and your overall finances. All right, let's go on. Key success factors. How to successfully implement the business concept. Okay, you may need help in this. You may need a coach, a consultant, okay, to do this. You may have an approach, but you're at a wall and need help fixing it. Okay, this is an area that we also can help you at, but you need to come out and get it. You need to get that help. You need to know all your monthly averages. This comes under record keeping. If you're not doing record keeping, whether you know it or not, there's a subconscious reason you're not. Most people that fail in this business that start out, if you ask them what their records are, they have no idea what they are. All right, financial situation, current finances. Again, I think we covered that. And what's your vision statement? What's your goals? 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years. All right, if you have a goal, there's good things and bad things about goals, okay? The good thing about goals are if you have them, you can start penciling in how you're going to achieve them. In other words, if you want a certain percentage of return, then you can break that down into a monthly amount and weekly amount, okay? I had one client who did this, and it was totally backwards the way he did it. I mean, instead of trying to become a good, he would do all this fancy calculations to determine his goals, and this is the bad part about goals. But he didn't want to roll up his sleeves and do the hard work of creating a system that would generate that. So he spent all his time on outcomes and no time on his trading approach. All right, if you're doing that, you're gonna have a hard time. Okay, you need to focus. Okay. All right, so good things about goals and bad goals. All right, so strategy, market selection. Now this is going to be more specific to your actual trading when we talk about strategy, because this is going to pertain to how you're going to make money type of part of the business. All right, market selections. What kind of trader are you? Okay, do you like to day trade? Do you like to position trade? What are you best at? Do you like to scalp? Do you like to counter trend trade? Do you like to trend trade? All right, these are all questions that you kind of should know because you're going to need to know them to develop a trading approach. You know, and your time commitments will actually define how you do all this. Sometimes you may get very busy. You may start out as a day trader and get very busy, okay, during the day. And so you may have to switch to position trading. Sometimes market conditions make it better to position trade than day trade. So you have to have a game plan of what you're doing and when you're going to do it. All right, entries and exits, of course, that's your system. All right, money management, risk control. You have to have risk control. If you don't, get my book on risk control. All right, because you need to understand how to allocate the proper trade size to each trade based on your trading results. Okay, very important. And the size of your account. Don't forget that as well. All right, so potential threats and risks, market risk versus trade risk. All right, so why do I bring this up? Well, occasionally what happens is when we do have a good risk control system, we are controlling the trade risk. But there's another risk out there that we actually absolutely cannot control called market risk. All right, so therefore, first of all, this is why we always tell you to fund your trading account with risk capital. Because, you know, if you have something that comes up in a trade, let's say you're trading, you have a nice stop in place, and something comes up, you know, some big terrorist attack or something comes up that causes the markets to just crash and jump way past your carefully chosen stop, well, you're going to take a big loss, bigger loss than you normally do. Chances are, I will say though, if you're using good risk control, this will be a setback and not a termination to your business. Most people that don't use risk control and encounter a market risk, they don't use it, they get wiped out. If they use it, it's a setback. It's not fun either way, but it happens, okay? So you have to account for potential threats and risks. This is why we always say, and if you look at all the professional traders out there, they don't trade their entire net worth. They trade a certain percentage of it. We go into the proper percentage in our books of what to trade. But the reason for this is market risk. Okay, they realize that. The novice trader usually doesn't. Research and development, ongoing education and trading tools. This comes along, I think, with any business, not just trading. Things change. Okay, if you're not current, you're out of business. It's that simple. Technology changes. It's kind of like the person using the dual-core computer, all right, that's 5 or 7 years old, and everybody he's competing against is using better tools. Okay, you have to keep current. All right, I've developed, this is kind of a fun thing. What I did is I put trading into a pizza pie, kind of, all right, or an apple pie, if you like that better. But the idea here is I took 4 main components of trading, and there's more, but these are the 4 ones that I want to talk about today that you should focus on. You have to master each slice of this pie. All right, so you have to eat the whole pie, okay? You can't eat just half. You have to eat the whole thing. The first slice is uncovering trading opportunities. All right, we have software called the ART Scanner that does that. Entries and exits, we have the ART Trading software. Money management, we have the trade size calculator and the trader's assistant. Psychology, we have a whole course, home study course, on developing an edge in psychology for trading. But regardless of what we offer, if you are really good in using approach number 1, if you have a great trading approach already, all right, but have no money management, you will eventually fail. Okay, if you have psychology down, that's the glue that holds everything together, then chances are when your money management system says to get out, you're going to get out. If you don't have good psychology and you're pulled around by the markets, then your stop may get hit, but you may not get out because you have a poor psychology to deal with things in the market. Okay, so what I want to take away from this is that if you're there watching this and you're saying, okay, I got pie 1 and 2, I want you to work on the ones you don't have because you're going to need to be successful consistently in this business. All right? All right, number 3, operations, office setup, order execution, record keeping. All right, office setup, where are you going to do this? All right, you got to think about all this. And what's the expense of this particular setup? Order execution, what broker are you going to use? That's going to depend probably on the kind of markets you want to trade. All right, you want to get good executions at a good price. All right, you don't want to get bad executions at a good price, okay? So you need to look around, Google, find out what's good. Record keeping, organization, all right, structure, okay? Again, if you're not keeping good records, you are sabotaging your trading, so you're having some type of subconscious issue where you don't want to look at what's real, okay? So all this falls under operations. Financials, okay, starting balance sheet, know where you are now. Forecast your cash flows so you know what your expenses are. Look at the reality of your profit and loss history. Key performance ratios, know your trading stats. All right, so I think that's important. All right, how many feel that trading really is the perfect business? How many people out there feel that? Trading is the perfect business. If you don't think it is, turn off your computer and go home, okay? Because your belief system has already made up its mind that you're not going to do good in this business because it's not a good business. If that's the way you feel, cut your computer off. For the rest of us, all right, let's talk about why trading is the perfect business. For one thing, all right, with all the technology available today, all right, I cannot think of a better business out there to take advantage of this technology. You can trade with the internet speeds today, the computer power that's only going to get better. So, all right, one of the things too, besides the technology out there today, is that, you know, you could be your own boss. And everybody loves that. There's ups and downs of being your own boss. But the nice thing is you're in control. And I think as entrepreneurs and traders, that's what we like so much. Okay, we like that. All right, you can work at home or anywhere in the world, provided that there is an internet connection. All right, you also have unlimited profit potential in this business. And not many businesses can offer that. So that's a great thing. And also, this is number 6, really, and 7 and 8, I think, are the most important parts of why trading is the perfect business. It's recession-proof. In other words, if the economy or the markets are doing well, all right, you can go to the long side. If they're not, you can short it. So no matter what's happening, there are opportunities for you to take advantage of either a good economy or a bad economy. Compare that with the last recession that we had. All right, if you were in real estate, for example, all right, I know so many people that got killed in real estate, all right, because real estate's great when the market is going up, but not so good when it's going down, okay? Same thing with retail businesses. Great in a good economy, they suffer in a bad economy. Trading didn't affect us at all, okay? Because you can make money going up or going down, okay? And that's really a very, very good thing to do, okay? So I think that's one of the great things about the perfect business of trading is that it's recession-proof. You can control your own destiny, but you know, you do have to know what you're doing. I think that's really important. All right, I'm going to put this book, this again is the book, okay, if you want to learn more. Who can you go to for support in your trading business? You need to have a support structure out there, okay? If you need help with that, give us a call. We have a complete coaching and consulting department. We've been in business for a long time, really technically since 1998, all right? So we've been around a long time. We've consulted with people around the world, and our coaches are really top-notch.